Oh my goodness, she's doing it. I have been wanting to film this video for so long. I can't believe I'm actually sitting down right now and filming it and telling you all about how I lost 13 pounds and kept it off within a relatively short period of time while gaining muscle. So welcome back to my YouTube channel, Habibis, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Chloe and I film a lot of content around lifestyle, fitness, and wellness in general. If you like that kind of video, make sure to subscribe and like and comment. I love comments, and especially with this kind of video, if you have any questions, please do leave them down below. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in this video, I'm gonna be telling you specifically how I broke up with food and went from looking like this to looking like this. Now, quick disclaimer, I have always loved my body. I think that if I hadn't loved my body and if I hadn't thought that I was hot and the bum diggity even before I started this whole journey would not have worked, because there would have been an underlying issue there that I needed to deal with. So the first thing I did was really just learn how to love myself and my body the way I looked, and that put a lot less stakes and pressure on having to look a certain way or having to look a different kind of way. So just putting it out there, I loved my body before and I love my body now even more. Now, another disclaimer, and it's a big one, I am not a dietitian. I'm not certified to be giving weight loss or health advice. I'm just going to be telling you what worked for me. And another really big disclaimer is if you have any eating disorders or any health issues of the sort, please skip this video. It's not for you, and that's okay. I did also want to talk about real quick before I dive into it, the stigma around weight loss. Somehow nowadays women are not allowed to say that we want to lose weight. We're expected or we're encouraged to say that we want to be healthy. I don't fully agree with that view. I think it's okay to want to lose weight as long as you're doing it in a healthy way. I did also want to shed a light on obesity a little bit. It is a disease and it is rampant, and it is always good to look out for it and try to mitigate that risk as much as you can. So anyways, little tangent, just wanted to start the video by saying that, but without further ado, let's actually jump into the video and all the tips and tricks that helped me in my weight loss journey. It all started when I got recommended a book. This book changed my life for good. Not just that it helped me and guided me through weight loss, but after following all of the tips within that book and taking all of the advice from that book, I now have a lot more energy, my skin looks a lot better. My lifestyle is so different just from reading the book, and I could not recommend it enough. And the book is called The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung. Yes, he's a doctor, so a lot, if not 100% of everything he says within the book is backed by science, and he gives a lot of case studies and examples to back it as well. I fully, wholeheartedly recommend you to read the book. I recommend this book to everyone in my life, but I will be going through within this video everything I learned within that book that helped me change the way I look at food and better understand my body. By all means, this is not a dieting book. It is a book that will help you understand how your body works, how obesity works, and the science behind weight loss. So I wrote everything down to help me through this video. I don't want to forget anything. I don't want to botch anything. Again, read the book, or you can listen to it for free on Spotify and let me know what you think. But the first main thing or main theme of the book that I wanted to address is that weight loss at its core is a hormonal game. So instead of just focusing on calorie deficit diets, which most of the time don't work in the long term, focus more on hormonal balance or hormonal imbalance that you might have. And the hormone in charge of weight gain and weight loss is insulin. Specifically, insulin resistance is one of the main indicators of obesity. Also diabetes. You're gonna see that if you read the book, diabetes and weight loss and weight gain and that whole shebang are very much related to each other. This is why drugs like Ozempic, which are a diabetes drug, also work for weight loss. One thing I was so fascinated about within the book is his approach and talking about weight loss through calorie deficit. So he focuses a lot on saying that calorie deficit as a weight loss or a dieting approach is not one that would work in the long term. Because the less you eat or the less calories come into your body, the less calories your body is going to burn, and you're going to go through metabolic slowdown. Same if you eat more calories, your body is going to be burning more. Now, yes, definitely in the short term, you eat less, you are going to lose weight. But will your body be able to keep that weight off? The answer is no, because you're gonna be burning less. In fact, every time I try to do calorie deficit, calorie counting, downloading apps like MyFitnessPal, that would be a trigger for me to start gaining weight, because I would obsess over it so much and then I would find myself binging. So that for me was just so not useful. Looking at calories and counting calories led me into a crazy cycle of yo-yo dieting. I was always dieting in my life. I was always going through a specific diet. I was always trying to eat less and count my calories and make sure that I am eating less than I am burning. And it just drove me crazy. And it actually led me to gain so much weight. It led me to have a horrible relationship with my body. And I don't know if you can relate, but at least I'm sure you know someone who's always going through a specific diet or always counting their calories, and it's just not working. That I'm just talking about myself. It never worked for me. It actually triggered a lot of my eating disorders, and it was absolutely dreadful. I'm so glad I'm not in that phase in my life. Now, the book is split up into two different parts. The first part is great to know and did help me a lot, but the second part is really what I mainly used and focused on to lose the weight, and it's actually a lot easier than any other diet I've done, and it's so easy to incorporate into my life, and it has so many different ramifications outside of weight loss that I swear to you changed my life. But you need to understand the first part first, and it's not just about one thing. Weight loss is about so many different things that go hand in hand to get you to your end goal. You can't just do one thing, and you can't just do like, you see these videos of people do this one thing and you will lose weight or whatever. No, it's actually so many things that go hand in hand, and it's so interesting to see and to look at that way. The first half of the book is actually focused on what to eat and what not to eat. So it's the what aspect of it all. And the first thing and the main culprit that he does dive so deep into is sugar. He talks about sugar like sugar is the devil, because sugar and insulin go hand in hand, and then insulin and insulin resistance go hand in hand. So sugar is one of the main things that cause obesity or weight gain. He does mention a lot that sugar really has no benefits in your body. You don't need sugar in your body to survive or to live. In fact, you do need fat, you do need carbs, you need all of the things that they tell you to cut out. But sugar specifically, no one ever tells you to eat sugar to lose weight. So cutting out sugar, for me, the first period, and it's like a drug, like you're used to it, your body craves it, but as soon as you cut it out for a little bit of time, you stop craving it altogether. It's so interesting to see. He does compare sugar to a drug, which for me was like, oh my goodness, I'm an addict. And then the second thing he talks about, which I'm sure like we all hear that when you're about to start your weight loss journey, they're like, oh, cut out sugar. And then the second thing is processed foods. So I would Google it if I were you, like just look at what processed foods are. Every single dietitian, every single person who has an opinion that I care about says to eat foods with the least amount of ingredients in them. So when you're at the store and you're buying something, always look at the back and make sure that there aren't all these crazy synthetic processed things within it, because our bodies were not designed or built to be able to process these foods, and it just fucks with your body in so many ways. More ways than one, more ways than just weight loss or weight gain. So like eating simple foods like just eggs with potatoes or vegetables or fruits really helped me a lot. So much easier to cook. Well, yeah, so much easier. I would say a lot more delicious. I like those kinds of food a lot more. And then after a while of not eating processed foods, it gets really hard for you to get back into eating them and just processing them and digesting them within your body. Now, the second part of the book, which is so fascinating, he focuses on the when to eat. Never thought about it that way in my life. I have done intermittent fasting so many times where you eat throughout the day and then you fast for 16 hours. So basically you stop eating at 7 p.m. and then you start back eating at 11 a.m. the next morning. That's just like one of the ways to do it. I have dabbled in that before and I have felt a difference. But he focuses and talks so much about fasting as a way to regulate insulin resistance or insulin production and to give your body a chance to burn fat. And I my life has been changed from it. My whole lifestyle has changed from it. I would say that is the main thing that led me to looking the way I am and performing the way I do during my day. And then my skin looks so much better. My body feels so much more regulated. I get sick a lot less. And I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit. One fascinating thing that he kind of uses as a case study is there is this man who fasted without food for 380 days, I think it was over a year, no food, just nutrients. So he was giving his body the vitamins and the nutrients that it needed, just not food. And he used that as a case study to say that you don't technically need to eat. You need to feed your body, but you don't technically need to eat. That is such a crazy concept to talk about and to hear and to say, because in your brain you're like, not eating means starvation, means death, means bad things. But let's not think about it as not eating. Better to think about it as fasting. So the main tagline for it is life is not just made for fasting, and it's not just made for feasting. Life is a combination of both. It's feasting followed by fasting. And I love that concept so much, because like sometimes I know that I have a big meal coming up, or that I have a big event, or that I'm going out with my friends and all that. And I allow myself to do it, and I don't restrict it, and I live my life to the fullest, which is why this diet is the easiest one that I've ever followed. But then before I get to that huge feast, or even after it, I always go through periods of fasting to maintain the balance within my body. Another huge benefit of fasting, other than giving your body a break and giving it time to burn calories without releasing any insulin, because every time you eat, insulin is released within your body. Another huge benefit is that after 16 hours of fasting, your body goes through something called cell autophagy. Cell autophagy is like Christmas morning. It's the best thing ever. Because the concept of cell autophagy is that after 16 hours of fasting, your cells start to regenerate or start to get rid of all of the bad cells or toxins or whatnot from your body. My skin looks so much better because I'm getting rid of all that. My teeth feel better. My body feels so much stronger. In fact, that guy who dieted for over a year, the first thing that people would notice when they looked at him, other than he lost a ton of weight, was that his teeth were so much whiter because of something called cell autophagy. He dives into it a lot deeper in the book. I would research it if I were you. It's so interesting. It's just your body's way of regenerating and taking care of itself all on its own. Love it. Fascinated by it. A third benefit that I'm getting from fasting is that I have so much more energy during the day. The way I've been doing it, I eat for about 3 hours during the day. I eat normally, as many calories as I want. Of course, being mindful of processed foods and sugars and all that stuff. I about only eat from 3 p.m. to like 7 p.m. or 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. or like just within that afternoon window. I don't eat much during the day. I focus more on working, and that gives me so much energy to get so much done during the day because I don't get any glucose crashes. It gets me so excited because I'm so passionate about this, and it really makes such a difference in my life. But there are also days where I feel like I feel yucky, I've been eating so much, or I like feasted a lot, or I had a huge dinner, and then I fast for 24 hours. A lot of people worry, they'd be like, oh, I couldn't, I'd get too hungry, I'd eat the whole place. It's normal. A lot of the time, hunger is a signal from your body based on something that it is used to. So if your body is used to eating every day at 11 a.m., then every day at 11 a.m., you're gonna get hungry. Your stomach is gonna growl a little bit. But have you ever been in a place where you're so hungry and then you forget to eat, or you get so busy that you don't eat and then you realize the hunger is gone? That's because you weren't actually craving food, or you didn't actually need food, but your body was so used to it that it started giving you the hunger signals. And so like just ignoring it for a little bit, literally drinking water helps me sometimes, or like drinking something that has so little calories in it, like 15 calories, like my green juice, which I love, or like tea. Or coffee, like I drink coffee every morning. I cannot fast, like I cannot not have my coffee, but it's so low in calories that it doesn't break my fast. I find all of these little things that give me nutrients and energy that curb that hunger and help me just get to the afternoon. Like right now, it's 3 p.m. and I haven't had a meal yet. I have had my coffee. I have my pre-workout that I take before the gym. It's also low calories, and that doesn't trigger any insulin, and it doesn't break my fast, basically. People really look at me funny when I tell them I sometimes eat for an hour a day. And they judge me a lot, and I understand that because we have this really big misconception about food and about weight loss and what you need to do and what you shouldn't do and all that stuff. Really understanding the science behind it completely shifted my perspective. The way I found the book was my friend had lost 20 pounds from fasting, and I judged him so much for it, and I regretted so much, and I apologized to him so much because I looked down on him and I was like, he was doing something wrong. There is no way that is good for you. Until I read the book and my whole perspective changed. It is so interesting and completely backed by science. And I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I'm just saying that once I started following these scientifically proved ways, I lost all that weight. And I feel better than I've ever felt in my entire life. One last thing I will address. People are always worried about your body burning muscle if you're like not eating or if you're losing a lot of weight. Complete bullshit. And then the way he kind of describes why this is not true at all is that if your body needs energy because you're fasting and you're going to the gym or whatnot, like it's like when a house needs heat. The first thing you don't burn the couch if you need heat. You burn wood. So your body's gonna burn fat, it's not gonna burn muscle. That doesn't happen unless in cases of extreme starvation when I think your body is less than a certain percentage of fat. I think it was like 8%. I can't remember fully. Check the book. I don't know. But yeah, my muscle mass has been going up. So me going down 13 pounds, I lost more fat than just 13 pounds because I did gain a ton of muscle since I started doing that. I'm sure there's so much that I didn't cover that I'm gonna say I wish I did cover, but guess what? This is not the last video I'm ever gonna post. So make sure to subscribe. I don't just talk about this, I actually show it in action during my vlogs. I talk a lot about fasting, I talk a lot about my workout routines and what I do to get myself to the gym and all that stuff. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to like this video if you felt like you learned at least one thing about it. And if you got to this point, just comment the Obesity Code and I'll know that you watched the whole thing all the way through. Leave comments, let me know what you think. I absolutely love comments. I respond to all of them, if not most of them. And I really appreciate you all for watching this and for caring and for actually wanting to hear what I have to say. So I will see you in the next vlog and love you all.